Alright, in this video I'm going to show you my camping setup for my Prius Prime XLE 2022. So this is what it looks like with the seats not folded back. We're going to fold it back in a quick second here. So I'm going to go in here, open the door, and pull down the seats. Okay, and for the Prius Prime, there's this like slanted part. So basically, here's where the battery is, and the battery needs a place to be put in the car, and so that's why there's a slant. And so you have about like anywhere from like 6 to 12 inches of drop from the trunk space to the back of the seats, so we're gonna have to create a platform to level it out. So what I have here is a blanket. It's basically a standard blanket that you should have in your house if you have a house, and I usually just roll it out like this. Okay, and I could do like 2 layers, and that's usually enough, at least for me to feel comfortable. And then I'm gonna take away the this object here, which is used to kind of cover up the trunk if I'm driving my car and I park it in a public place. I don't want people to know what stuff I have in my car, so that's that. So usually I just like pull this out and I just put this on the side over here. And then I'll just move some of this stuff over. And yeah, this is kind of my sleeping surface. I have a sleeping bag, which I'm not really going to show. Let's move some of this stuff over. But yeah, this is basically my sleeping area. And yeah, now I'm going to get a tape measure and we're going to measure how far it is, in case you are taller or shorter than me. So I'm 5'5", and yeah, I don't know. So far, it's been working out for me pretty well, and I've actually been experimenting with sleeping with my head on both sides. So sometimes I sleep with my head here, so I add a little bit extra padding on this side, with my legs dangling on the back, which actually honestly feels more comfortable. Some people prefer to put their head on that side and put their feet on this side. Sometimes I'm just too lazy to set up a platform here to rest my head on that. So I'm almost always just putting my feet on this side, actually. But it's really up to you. I think it could work either way depending on what your height is. So I got a tape measure. Let's measure it. So let's just first measure the length of this to the edge of the platform here. So if you can, I'll just show you my tape measure, and I'll show you where the end of that is, just so you can get a sense of where I'm measuring from. I can actually extend that just a little bit to the, I guess, outer edge of the seat. So it'll just be right there. And yeah, so this measures around 5 feet. Let's just make it 5 feet here. Yeah, I think it's 5 feet. Now I hope you can see why I prefer to have my head on this side instead of the other way around. If you want to extend it just a little bit, so I'm now going to move the end of that tape measure to the back seat. So this is like the default position of the back seat. And I'm gonna extend this even more. And this gets us to 5'8". Okay. Now, the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the front seat all the way forward and give you a sense of how much space there is when this is moved all the way forward. So I've moved my back seat, passenger seat up. I could even fold the passenger seat over a little bit. Okay, so it's like that. And now for the tape measure, I can extend it all the way to the end of the seat. Okay, and I'm gonna pull this and see how far it is. So this gets us to 6'5". Okay, so that's over 190 centimeters. Okay. Now I can measure diagonals, and sometimes if I'm sleeping on that side, I'm too lazy to set the platform, I can basically diagonally sleep a little bit. And if I diagonally sleep, I can retract the tape measure just a little bit. Right? So as you can see, it goes just barely over the edge of where the headrest is for the back seat. And as you can see, it's around 5'7". So that's the diagonal dimensions. I can measure the horizontal dimensions real quick. So I'm just doing just the trunk edge, right? If I'm just doing the trunk edge, it's around 2 feet 10. But if I go inside and I measure the width of like the widest part, so if I'm door to door here, again, this would be super crude, but I'm measuring from that door over to here, it's around 4 feet. It's a little over 4 feet 8, or it's around 50 inches, so a little over 4 feet. Yeah, so that's kind of the measurements of my sleep setup. Yeah, usually this is enough, honestly. Like, this is like my sleep setup, and again, like, there's this cool thing. Let me show you. There's this island in the middle of the passenger, between the passenger and driver's seat, where I can actually close it, and I can actually put my feet on here and sleep from head facing the back of the trunk, and feet can kind of rest over here. And that's actually kind of like, that actually feels really comfortable for me. Yeah, that's it. If you have any questions, let me know. If you want me to make any more measurements, and yeah, if there's anything that you're more interested in learning about this car, let me know. This is like my camp setup.